Hello everyone, Carson here, and in today's video, I am going to be telling you how to find the right VPS server for you. Now, VPS is Virtual Private Server, which is essentially like a private server, but it's entirely virtual. It's a virtual chunk of a machine dedicated to your service. Now, I am going to be leaving a link in the description to some VPS hosting services I recommend, so if you don't want to deal with this and do your own research, if you don't want to have to deal with all that hassle, and you just want to pick out a site that I have tested and I personally recommend very highly, check out my links in the description. And now let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to be taking you through 7 things you need to take into consideration before trying to find a VPS server provider. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the first thing you need to know is the server location. This might obviously not seem like a big thing at first, but it actually is. Server location is incredibly important for VPS hosting. The server location essentially affects the latency or load time. The further a server is away from your customer base, the slower the website is going to load. So always try to get your server as close to your customer base as possible. Next up, you need to pick the right operating system or OS for your hosting server. Depending on what type of software you're using to build your website, you might need a different operating system on your virtual private server. For example, if you're using WordPress, Joomla, or another open source CMS, Linux would probably be the way to go. But if your project is using something like .NET or MS SQL, then you'd have to use Windows. Point number 3 though is you need to understand the system resources. So if you have a website already built and you're looking to understand if your website, can go on a VPS server, and if so, what plan to buy, always try and check the stats of your website, the consumption stats, to see where you need to transfer. At number 4, scalability. Always check to make sure the VPS hosting provider you're going with has a scalable VPS hosting plan. A lot of them do, but some don't, and if they don't, you can be in a very tough position because then you don't really know, how to expand once you do need to. Next up, you always want to look at the plan features. You want to be looking for stuff like a CDN, backups, or free SSL certificates. So always take your time to consider the whole package and then go from there. At number 6, and this one's going to be really quick, but it's important, make sure the customer support is good. If your customer support isn't good, odds are you're not going to be enjoying running your website, because anytime you call them, they're not going to be helpful or they're not going to provide you with any good service. And just overall, look for good customer support. I always stress this a lot in my videos, but I do believe customer support is one of the most important things to making a good hosting platform. Finally, always look at the price. VPS hosting services vary by price a lot. There are a lot of differences in price between these hosting services, so always look at the price. Take that into consideration when you're picking your VPS hosting platform. That is going to do it for today's video, though. Remember, I have my recommended platforms linked in the description. Thanks for watching. Till next time, and have a great day.